Hi, welcome back to the satellite. It's been a few months since I last uploaded, and even then I was only posting gameplay commentary videos. When I was last active, my uploads moved away from infotainment documentaries in order to focus on unorganized and low-effort stream highlights and moist critical style opinion vlogs, and then I just vanished. So what happened? Why are there so many delisted videos? And now that I'm back, what's gonna happen next? Well, it all started when I went crazy. I remember when I lost my mind. It was November of 2022. About 10 weeks after, I released a practice video intended for a small audience. To my shock and horror, that video garnered over 1 million views, and I didn't like it. Strangely enough, I actually wasn't too happy with the viral hit, all things considered. The video itself was of fairly poor quality. There are numerous editing mistakes, the worst of which is undoubtedly the introduction to the video, where I tried to do a cute reference to a YouTuber I liked, but whiffed entirely. There's also all the silly errors, like the way I pronounced vignette.
You want to hear more about his character through comic vignettes of foolish misdeeds? Vignettes,
And lack of proper citation, but you know, we all have to learn somehow, right? The worst part of the video wasn't any of the mistakes I made, but instead the deliberate choice to rail on someone's character for entertainment. When I started making the video, it began as a clip show of Seagal's worst moments caught on camera.
I think the foundation of all people has to be where we come from ultimately. I'm a little bit Asian, and I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian.
You have Italian descent?
Yeah, I have some Italian on my mother's side. I'm Russian.
I'm an American.
Yeah, I'm a musician, as you know.
I'm a fighter.
I'm a writer too, and I haven't been wrong yet. I'm a fighter, and I got a good eye, and I know a little bit about technique.
All the allegations of sexual harassment, you had a rape allegation against you, and I wonder how you deal with all that.
I may have been a bad boy and done it.
While watching examples others had uploaded, I realized how often he would make I am statements. It struck me as an atypical amount of self-definition as compared to other celebrities who talk about themselves. There's a tendency to define oneself in an interview setting with action or consequence, where statements like, I am Russian, become rendered into self-evident statements like, I was born in Novgorod, my parents met in the Red Square, I love pathologic. This is a much more natural way to introduce people to your personal history by guiding them through the facts with the most significant events. I guess I picked up on this pattern by writing and discussing fiction. See, I like to style myself as a fledgling creative who's just the beginning of what will soon turn out to be an illustrious career, despite the fact that I've been writing myself in circles for maybe a decade at this point. So what drew me to Steven Seagal wasn't necessarily the fact that he was a liar, but that he was supplanting his real-life narrative with the inferior fan fiction of his own invention. Suffice to say, people generally agreed with the diagnosis of silliest fibber. The channel saw an influx of subscribers who wanted to see more from me, and I distinctly remember comments noting how competent my video craft was for someone so unknown. That gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling, and during that period I was very much in need of that kind of satisfaction. However, it became painfully clear to me soon after that keeping up with the demand for more content meant working harder at a quicker pace for an audience I never wanted. I know there are plenty of people on this platform who would disregard my qualms with the system as ungrateful, entitled, maybe even spoiled. Some creators work very hard to cater to the crowd and rely on random virality to make ends meet, and for them I wish the best of luck. I certainly had my 15 minutes of obscure internet fame, and I'm glad for the experience because it taught me that I absolutely do not want to go through it again. I'm not the sensitive type, and I've been on the internet my whole life. Mean or hateful comments don't hurt my feelings. I actually found some of them to be pretty funny by themselves. However, what did end up getting under my skin was the overall trend of intense negativity. Everywhere throughout the comment section, people were mad, either at Seagal, at me, or just mad at each other. It's always been pretty funny to me that you can find petty arguments literally anywhere on the internet, but prior to that video, I had never seen one spawn beneath a piece of media that I had made. That part of the experience, that negativity, was just disappointing. It took me a few months to realize that my creation wasn't just a centerpiece to the online hate debates, but the source of the negativity. I was part of the problem, and I was partly responsible for inaugurating such an acidic environment. By the time I realized that I was flag-waving toxic online gossip circles, I was already at 6,000 subscribers, and I still felt the pressure to post content despite the low reception. I was shifting my content style around to find out what would work for me, but combining that with diminishing views and daily upload schedule was a recipe for burnout brisket, and I was the only one manning the grill. Finally, I landed on gameplay videos. They're fun, easy to make, and I think I do them pretty well. Plus, whatever toxicity that arises can pretty swiftly be deflected by the fact that it's just a silly game. I wanted to make bigger and better content, but I felt trapped by these ephemeral expectations to make something exactly perfect for everyone. So I made and did nothing for a while, and I figured nobody would notice. Well, now I'm back, and I still don't expect anybody to notice. In fact, I hope nobody does, and I can just rebuild my subscriber base and video collection more or less from scratch. I've gone ahead and pruned the videos which I think would facilitate negativity in an unconstructive manner, including the silliest fibber. I actually did this back in September of 2023 as I was no longer comfortable associating my online identity with mean-spirited content. I see this as a step in the right direction, which I will continue to pursue down the line. But then, what comes next? If I went through the trouble of cleaning my page of its most popular content, how will things be different? I think the best answer to that is I'm changing my mindset and getting organized. Videos will come out when they're ready, whether there's an audience for them or not, and in case there ever is again, I plan on keeping it mostly kid-friendly. After seeing some of the numbers on my end, I realized how many younger viewers are actually tuning into my stuff, and I think that if I should cater infotainment and education content to any class of person, it should be the most impressionable group by far. I'll refrain from cursing, but I make no promises. I can be verbose and articulate, but there's no replacement for a good fuck. Other than the change in broad outlook, I want to return to high-effort work with research, writing, and editing chops, the whole kit and caboodle. I want to make video essays on video games, electronic literature like I briefly touched on with my hyperfic video, and whatever political or cultural event has caught my attention. It's an election year, and I don't think I could avoid politics if I tried, so I'm just going to see how that goes. There's also just miscellaneous ideas that I'd like to express every once in a while. Like the fact that I technically have lost media. Like I've had to have streamed over 100 hours of footage to my Twitch channel. And when there's good amounts of it that airs to no one in particular, it gives me this dripping ick in my stomach that I get when thinking about permanently lost media. But yeah, that's just a thought. I might return to streaming on Twitch. We'll have to see how the school year goes. I'm almost done with university and the career event horizon is near, so I have that to complicate things as well. Life is a mess, and a fast one at that, so hopefully at the end of it all I can look back on the good that I've put out in the world and see if anything came of it. Anyway, that's everything that I have to say, so thank you for watching, and I will see you whenever I upload next. I don't know when that is. Bye!